Welcome to Rise Up Yoga. I'm Ashley. I'm really excited you're joining me on this new journey as we blend together yoga and tarot, two of my favorite things, for a deep exploration of self. Now, as we move through this journey, we'll be making our way through all 78 cards of a tarot deck, making a yoga video based off of each one. We'll be using the Lightseers Tarot deck, which was my first tarot deck, so it holds a lot of meaning for me and has really inspired me to go on this journey with you. Now, we're going to be getting started in a comfortable seat on the mat, so take your time to get down to the mat. We'll meet in a cross-legged seat. If you have any water, if you have a blanket, if you have any yoga blocks, I recommend grabbing those. If you don't have any of those, that's totally okay. Just you and your yoga mat will be enough. To begin, we're starting with card number 0, the Fool. The Fool is all about new beginnings, about taking a great leap of faith into the unknown to embark on a new adventure. The Fool brings with it this energy of limitless possibility, of excitement and childlike optimism. So with that in mind and with the energy of the Fool, let's go ahead and rock forward onto your knees. Bring your knees about as wide as the mat, big toes to touch, and then come to rest gently on your heels. On an inhale, lengthen through the spine, reach through the crown of your head, and exhale to melt it forward into child's pose. Reach your fingertips towards the top of the mat, and then bring your forehead all the way to the mat if that's available to you. If you have a block, you can bring it under your forehead, or you can bring it under your hips, whichever is comfortable for you. Now let's take a moment here with a few breaths. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Deep breath in. And exhale. Last one. Inhale. And exhale as we let it all go. Take the opportunity here in child's pose to make space for your inner child. That vulnerable, creative, an expressive part within each of us that sometimes gets neglected in the name of being an adult. By connecting to this part within each of us, we begin to start a healing journey of acceptance and self-love. So let's get this self-love journey going by taking some sways side to side. Just breathe through it. Find some soft movement as we just warm up our body. You can have a little fun with it. And then start to take that motion up with you as we come up onto our hands. Bring your wrists directly under your shoulders. And keep a flat back by taking your gaze all the way to the earth. Now bring your right hand into the center of the mat directly below your chest. Spread your fingers out wide and then press firmly into your palm. On an inhale, reach your left fingertips up your arm, through your chest, and up to the sky as we come into this nice open twist. Take your gaze up towards your left fingertips. And take a breath, deep breath in and exhale. Relax your shoulders. On your next exhale, bring your left hand under your right and to the right side of your mat as we thread the needle. Bring your left ear and your left shoulder all the way to the mat. And just feel this nice deep stretch through your left shoulder and your upper back. Now you can take your right hand and press more into the mat from where you are so you get a deeper stretch through your back. Or you can reach your right hand up to the top of the mat for a deeper stretch in your shoulder as well. Yogi's choice here. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Awesome. On your next inhale, come back up to center. And then let's switch our hands. Bring your left hand to the center of the mat. Fingers spread wide. Really press firmly into that hand. And then on an inhale, reach your right fingertips up to the sky. Gaze up towards your right fingertips. We're feeling this stretch through our right side body. Relax your shoulders, relax your jaw. And then with soft, easy movement here on your exhale, let's go ahead and thread the needle. Right fingertips come to the left side of the mat, right ear and shoulder towards the mat. And then find whichever hand placement you'd like with your left hand, either pressing into the mat or reaching up towards the top of the mat. And then work to open up towards the left side of the mat as we really open up the front side body and through our core. All right, on your next inhale, let's come back up to center. This time, let's bring your hands and wrists directly under your shoulders, and then bring your knees directly under your hips as we come into tabletop. Really activate through your core and press firmly into your hands and your feet. And then we're gonna do some hip circles here to just get our hips warmed up. So on an inhale, reach your right heel up to the sky. And then start to do hip circles one way. Again, take soft movement, go at whatever pace you feel comfortable with. And then as you're ready, go ahead and start to take your hip circles the other direction. Don't forget to breathe. All right, and then go ahead and bring your right knee towards the earth, and then start to do hip circles with your left hip. Keep an active core while you're doing these hip circles to stay stabilized. And you can flex your toes up towards your face so you get a deeper stretch through the ankle. All right, now go ahead and take your hip circles the other way. All right, okay, now we'll go ahead and bring that knee back to the mat as you come back into tabletop. On your next inhale, drop your belly, shine your heart forward, and take your gaze slightly up to cow. Now you can take some movements with your hips side to side. You can shake your head to the side. Just doing whatever movements you need to warm up through your spine. On your next exhale, arch your back and take your gaze towards the mat to come into cat. Really drop your head, taking it back to your legs. So we're really pressing up firmly through your hands and getting this deep stretch through your upper back. Continue to flow, breath to movement, cow on the inhale, cat on the exhale. Take any creative movements that you'd like as well with your hips or with your neck. All right, and then one more breath. And then come back into a tabletop. All right, now let's go ahead and tuck our toes, and on an exhale, take your knees and your hips up to the sky as we come back into downward dog. You can walk your hands forward just slightly. Option here, you can always come to your knees for puppy pose. So you'd come to your knees and then reach your hands out towards the top of your mat. So similar to child's pose, but here your knees will stay stacked below your hips. If you're in down dog, you can start to take your dog for a walk by bringing your heels towards the mat. And then relax your shoulders. Take your biceps near your shoulders as much as you can. On an inhale, take your gaze forward, and exhale, step your left foot up and then your right as you come into forward fold. Really press firmly into your feet, make sure they're hip width distance, and keep a gentle bend in your knees. And then relax your upper body towards the earth, let your head hang heavy. And then let's go ahead and bring your hands to clasp behind your back. Then you can start to reach your hands up to the sky or towards the front of the mat, whatever's in your practice, as we get this awesome shoulder opening stretch. A lot of us tend to hold our tension in our shoulders, so we're really working to release that. And if that's not available to you, you can also bring a block in front of you for some extra stability. All right, on your next exhale, release everything to the earth. And then let's give ourselves a generous bend in your knees. And on an inhale, start to rise up slowly, one vertebrae at a time. Let's bring our hands up with us, reaching them up to the sky. And then exhale to bring them hands to heart center. Now go ahead and close your eyes as we come back to our breath in this present moment. Let's take a moment of stillness, taking a deep breath in through the nose. And exhale. Now, as I mentioned before, the Fool brings with it this possibility to achieve your dreams. So take a moment here to dream big. No matter how wild or impossible seeming it sounds, let it come to light. How does that dream make you feel? Notice how that feeling arises within your body. And then go ahead and open your eyes. Imagine you're holding that dream in between your palms. Press your palms firmly into one another, and then slowly start to bring them up through center line and burst them up to the sky as we release our dreams and let the universe take care of the details. Now take your gaze up towards your fingertips and relax your shoulders. Keep your core nice and active. And on an exhale, let's cactus arms to a low back bend. If you'd like, you can bring your hands to your low back for some extra support. Either way, go ahead and press your pelvic area forward in this low back bend, so you're not just cranking your upper back, but you're really getting your whole torso into this back bend. That will help protect your low back. All right, on an inhale, let's bring our hands back up to the sky. And then exhale, hinge your hips forwards, coming into a forward fold. Take your time getting down Your head will be the last to lower. Inhale, halfway lift. Bring your hands to your shins, to your thighs. Take your gaze down towards the mat. Keep this micro bend in your knees and keep your core engaged so you really keep this nice flat back and this long line of energy all the way from your tail through the crown of your head. Again, if you have a block, now would be a good time to use it if you'd like. On your next exhale, lower your head as you come into forward fold. Plant your palms and then step your right foot back and then your left as we come into a plank. Now we'll only be here for a few breaths, so stay strong. You've got this. If you'd like, you can always bring your knees down to the mat. While we're here, keep your fingers spread wide, wrists directly under your shoulders, really pressed firmly into your palms. And then take your heels towards the back of your mat so you're feeling the stretch through the back of your legs. Keep your core active as we feel this nice flat line all the way from our heels through the crown of our head. On an inhale, inch forward onto your toes and exhale to slowly lower all the way to the mat, keeping your elbows tucked into your side. Now untuck your toes. You can bring your big toes to touch and then engage your legs. On an inhale, slowly rise your chest up off of the mat. Take your gaze slightly out in front of you as we come into Cobra. Now make sure you have little to no weight in your hands, so you're really getting this support through your legs and your upper body. Press your pelvic floor into the mat as well. And then on an exhale, go ahead and relax towards the earth. Now let's tuck our toes, and on an inhale, reach your hips up to the sky for downward facing dog. All right, now on your next inhale, reach your right heel up to the sky for three-legged dog. Flex your toes towards the earth. And on an exhale, bring your right foot up and through between your hands. Now, option to come down to your knee here, but you can also keep it lifted. Really find your footing. And on your next inhale, reach your hands up to the sky as we come into this nice crescent lunge. Take your gaze up towards your fingertips. Make sure your front knee is stacked over your front ankle. And work to make sure your hips are square towards the top of your mat. You can lean a little bit into your front knee so you're feeling this nice stretch through the front of your left hip. And then through your belly as well if you take your gaze slightly up and back. On an exhale, come up to warrior two, opening your hips to the left side of the mat. Make sure your back foot is parallel to the back edge of the mat. And then make sure your right foot is in line with your back arch. Reach your arms out long and take your gaze over your right fingertips. Breathe through this energizing pose. And now we're going to challenge ourselves a little bit with some balance, especially if you've never done half moon before. It will be a bit of a challenge, but that's okay. That's what the Fool is all about, trying something new. So we're just gonna have fun with it. If you have a block, now's the time to grab it and bring it in front of your mat. Now on an inhale, take your fingertips forward and take your torso forward as well. Start to bring your weight into your right foot. And then we're going to take this leap of faith, and on an exhale, reach your left foot up to the sky. Right fingertips come down towards the mat or towards your block. Left toes should be flexed towards your face, and then work to get your left leg parallel towards the earth. Your gaze can go down towards the ground, and then your left hand can come to your hip, or you can reach your left fingertips up to the sky. For a little extra challenge, you can take your gaze up towards your left fingertips and keep your core active here so you have this stable pose. Keep a gentle bend in your front knee as well to bring your center of gravity towards the mat a little bit, help with some balance. And if you fall out of this, that's completely okay. Again, just go ahead and take your time to get back to it. Play around with this movement, have some fun. Breathe through it. All right, we're gonna do one more breath. You got this. And exhale to slowly lower your left foot all the way back to the earth as we come back into Warrior Two. Awesome job. On your next inhale, take your right fingertips up and back, left fingertips towards the back of your left leg for Reverse Warrior. Take your gaze up towards your right fingertips. And exhale, cartwheel your hands down to the mat to frame your foot, and then step your right foot back to meet your left as we come into Down Dog. Now we'll take a moment here to breathe, come back to this present moment, relax a little bit. You can either stay here in Down Dog in stillness, you can come to your knees for puppy or for tabletop. All right, let's come back into Down Dog if you're not there. And then on an inhale, let's take our left foot up to the sky, three-legged dog. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, step your left foot up between your hands. Again, really press firmly into your feet. Find this grounding pose. And then on an inhale, rise up into crescent. Really reach your fingertips up and back. Again, come down to your knee if necessary. And then press your right heel towards the mat to get a deeper stretch through the back of your leg. On your next exhale, open it up to Warrior Two. Go through your checklist. Back foot is parallel to the back edge of the mat. Arms are out long. Shoulders are relaxed. You can tuck your pelvis a little bit to have this flat back. As we feel this stretching through our hips and then strengthening through our shoulders. All right, now let's go ahead and get prepared for Half Moon. On an inhale, take your fingertips forward. Remember to grab your block if you're using it. Bring your weight into your left foot. And then on your next exhale, reach your right foot up to the sky, left fingertips towards the earth. Now, right toes are flexed towards your face. Right hand can come to hip or to the sky. And then really open yourself up to the right side of your mat. So you're getting this nice opening through the front side of your body, really opening up this line of energy. This pose is so beneficial for so many things. First, we're really strengthening through our ankles, through our hips, through our shoulders, through our core. And then we're really stretching through our hamstrings. So you're doing a lot of great things for yourself here. All right, take one more breath. And then lower your right foot to the earth. Come back to warrior two. On your next inhale, reach your left fingertips up and back for reverse warrior. Right hand comes down to your leg. And then exhale to cartwheel your hands to frame your front foot. Step your left foot back, down dog. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, inch forward onto your tippy toes as we come into plank. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, slowly lower it to the earth. Once again, elbows tucked into the side as we come into this resting pose. Tuck your toes, engage your legs. Exhale everything out to prepare. And inhale, cobra. Peel your chest up off of the earth, gazes forward. So we really open through our hearts and through our throat. You can take any neck movements here to the left and to the right if you'd like. On your next exhale, go ahead and lower it to the earth. Bring your right cheek towards the mat and then relax your arms by your sides, palms faced up. Let's find some stillness. Take a deep breath in through the nose. And exhale. You can feel your heartbeat through your chest as we connect to our breath and to this present moment. All right, now let's take our gaze back to the center. And your arms can stay where they are, or if it's in your practice, you can bring them to clasp behind your low back as we prepare for locust. Exhale everything out to prepare. And inhale, lift everything up off of the mat. Reach your feet and your head towards the sky, and then really pull your hands towards your feet so that it feels like your hands are being magnetized towards your feet. And then really press through your pelvic bone into the mat so you're getting this bigger lift through your body. Keep your core active. Remember to breathe. Gaze is slightly out in front of you. One more breath. And exhale to let it all go. Relax yourself towards the earth. This time, bring your left cheek to the mat. All right, let's go ahead and bring our head back to center. And you can choose either one of these to do again. You can do cobra, you can do locust, or we can do this other option of bow. So from here, if you're going to choose to do bow, bring your heels towards your glutes. Bring your hands to the front of your feet. Again, exhale everything out to prepare. And inhale to press your hands into your feet so you come up Taking your gaze slightly forward, your chest is lifted up off of the earth. Engage through your legs. Relax your jaw. If you're in bow, you can imagine we're in this circle shape or this zero shape for the Fool. All right, on an exhale, let's lower everything to the earth. You can come onto either cheek. And then let's press our hands up and take your hips back as we come into child's pose. You can reach your hands out long or behind you. We'll just be here for a moment, giving ourselves a nice counter stretch to all those back bending poses we've been doing. All right, on your next inhale, go ahead and come up. You can swing your legs out to either side of you and then reach them out long in front of you. Flex your toes towards your face, and then if you have a blanket, you have the option to roll it up and place it under your knees. Inhale to reach your fingertips up through the sky, lengthening through your torso. And then exhale to bring your hands towards your toes, your ankles, or your shins, whichever is comfortable for you. Now we're really hinging through our hips, so we have this flat back as we stretch forward. We want to make sure we're not bending in. We want to keep this nice open front body. And then you can give yourself a little bend in your knees as well to get a deeper stretch through your legs. Remember to breathe. And on your next inhale, let's come back up. Keep your legs out long. And then let's bring the sole of our right foot into our hip. Really squeeze your right knee into your chest. And then you can bring your right leg over your left leg. So you're in this position with your hand or your right foot to the outside of your left leg. Inhale to lengthen, and then exhale, we're going to twist to the right. So bring your right fingertips behind your back, bring your left arm to the outside of your right knee, and then take this twist to the side of your mat. Then you can press that left arm into your legs. You're getting this deeper stretch. Take your gaze over your right shoulder. All right, on your next inhale, go ahead and come back up to center. And then let's switch our feet here. Bring your left knee into your chest. Maybe give yourself a little squeeze. And then bring your left leg over your right. And then find your twist on this side. I remember doing this pose a lot of the times in elementary school and PE, so just taking this back to those childhood memories, maybe that childhood sense of fun. Take your gaze over your left shoulder. And let's take it back to center. Reach your left leg long out in front of you. And then scoot your hips up towards your feet. Make sure you have enough room on your mat behind you as we're going to go ahead and lay down. Inhale again to lengthen. Exhale to slowly come back onto your back. Come down one vertebrae at a time. And then bring your knees up to your chest. Give yourself a nice big squeeze, a big hug. Send yourself some love. And let's bring our hands to the outsides of our feet. Your hands or your arms can come inside of your knees or outside of your knees, your preference. And then start to just take some movements here in happy baby. Finding any creative last movements that you'd like before we come into Shavasana. Really bringing this back to that inner child. All right, and then once you've had that movement, you can slowly start to lower your legs to the mat. And then relax everything towards the mat. Really get comfortable here. If you have your blanket, you can bring that over top of you. And then just find some space on your mat, whatever that means to you here. Coming back into stillness. Maybe take the opportunity here to come back to that dream that you released to the universe. As we're in this open, receiving energy, let that just soak in. All right, now you can stay here in Shavasana for as long as you like, but if you need to get going, you can start to wiggle your fingers and your toes as you wake up your body. You can start to reach your hands up over your head. Give yourself this awesome stretch through your whole body. And then choose a side to roll onto. Coming into fetal pose, bring your elbow, your ear to rest on your bicep. And on your next inhale, start to rise up. We're gonna meet in a cross-legged seat. You can bring your hands to your knees, or you can bring them to heart center. Close your eyes. I want to thank you all so much for starting this journey with me. I'm so excited to go on this journey with all of you. Let's take a deep breath. Sealing in our practice, sealing in our dreams. The light, the love, the teacher in me honors and reflects the light, the love, and the teacher in each and every one of you. Namaste. Now, if you're interested in continuing this journey with me, go ahead and subscribe, as we'll be releasing videos every week. You'll be able to get the most benefit out of this practice if you follow along. So I'm excited to see you there.